Hello guys, I'm Samantha, and today we're going to raise our balance from just $50. But before we start, I'd like to remind you that if you're interested in joining to my VIP Telegram group where I share all my trades, you can text me on Telegram so I personally answer you and add you to my private group with signals. And don't forget that there is a limit of just 100 people, so you need to be quick to get there. The deposit here is already on my card, and now we have a new goal. This is from $50, and we will use a super light indicator. We have already posted it on the channel. If someone has not watched, this video is mandatory, so look, a great indicator for us. If we want to trade from the trend, just according to the trend, from the levels and so on. This zigzag is very simple. The indicator overlays on the top of a chart, removes unnecessary noise in the form of, you see, I have removed such moments, and here too, the noise was removed. This is an indicator that clumsy shows us the trend, and in principle, let's start in the course of this video. You'll figure it out for yourself. For us, our rules are trading without breaking the trend, since we bet for 1 minute, that is, we enter the higher time frame. And what do we see, and how to understand which way the trend is moving? Yes, are we monitoring whether our maximums are being updated or our minimums are being updated? Everything is very simple. Zigzag is even easier to track thanks to it. Look, here we have a start first, we have a shadow left, so I'm not looking here. The minimum is here. Roughly speaking, the maximum has been updated, gone down, at least updated, yes, updated again, the maximum has been updated, the minimum has gone up, has not updated the maximum. Okay, so here we have maximum. That is, when the maximum is updated, the next one is higher than the previous one. When the minimum is updated, the next one is lower than the previous one. Everything is very simple. That is, the maximum has not been updated and the minimum has not been updated. Here you see, the minimum above the previous one should be lower. The maximum of 5 was not updated, went down, updated the minimum. Accordingly, throughout the whole picture, we have a minimum updated here. This means that we are entering a downward trend on a minute time frame. So we trade 50 here, and once again we look, we traded for a minute, so we also have to check the minute schedule. If we see after a sharp jump we have a drop and an adjustment, that's why I'm trading down $50 here. That is, we got a refund here, a little out of time, but I won't trade it here anymore. There's some kind of swing, right? So it's interesting here. We have a strong downward trend. We go to make sure and see a strong downward trend. The zigzag was drawn a little incorrectly here. Well, most likely it needs to change the period here, but so we had an increase which didn't update the maximum back, went down, but we see that the movement was on the decline. We observe the same thing on the chart, and accordingly you need to trade another $50 on the rollback. And let's say we have an interesting currency pair here and it is moving upwards. We see, as you see, a clear example, maximum of 1, maximum of 2, maximum of 3, each higher than the previous one, so such rollbacks are normal. That is, such adjustments are minimums lower than above the previous one. Accordingly, we have an upward trend, and we have it here, and it continues on a 1 minute time frame. We see the same thing. Therefore, we are trading $50 on an increase here, and let's look. Okay, great. It is a plus, so we have an interesting currency pair. We see how we have an upward trend with the maximum. After adjustment, it continued to move upward. Here we see the same situation on the rise, so let's set the maximum. Great. I connected MACD, so as not to stumble upon stupid moments, that is while I was looking for a currency pair, I decided that I needed to connect MACD today. So here we have it added, and what do I need it for? In order to look at our volumes for an increase, large volumes for a decrease, so as not to accidentally get into such adjustments and such moments, that is, well, basically there are the moments not to get. You see the volumes have dropped sharply, the volumes have increased, that is, they're going down, that's the way things are. Let's look. Okay, so here we have a great plus, and let's continue for almost 150. The clock has updated, the maximum has updated, the maximum and has started updating the minimums, but it updates again and again, and the maximum is generally to bring everything closer here to the later movement. So it looks like, let's take a minute by minute look. That is, you see our schedule mostly moves sideways, so there are of course some moments when it shows either strongly up or down, but in general it moves sideways, so we leave it. Okay, an interesting point here. MACD says that there is a U-turn here, so let's watch the clock on the clock. So we have seen with you how we have some kind of mess going on. That is, it went down, updated the minimum to the maximum. Well, you can say that I updated it. If you look at it, I updated it and it went down. So if you don't like it, let's look for another currency pair. Well, here that is okay. Let's look at the minute chart. We looked, and here we saw an interesting situation, right? Very interesting. Then it went down, everything is as it should be, up and down reversal, and MACD says about the decline, and here is an incomprehensible situation. Well, then we are looking for another currency pair. That is, again, the logic is very simple. If I can't figure out what's what end on the chart, then I'm just looking for the next currency pair. So why sit and watch a currency pair for several hours in one if there are a lot of currency pairs? This is how minimums are updated. Accordingly, we open the downward trend and MACD to lower the deal, and let's watch. Okay, a great plus and interesting situation, as if it would be possible to trade more. Now let's see. If it have 40 seconds to the end, I made such a cheat sheet for myself. I'll put it here. This is the level from which it bounced last time. It kind of punched, left a shadow. And you see what happened. I returned to this level again. It is broken out. Then we will trade it on a decrease. We still have 50 seconds now to fully consolidate in some position, and now we'll see. It will be possible to trade it here without an indicator, but if it reaches the bottom now, again, I just bet on an increase, that if in the other direction. It can't break through this level, so well, we will not sit on the one currency pair. We will still have time to look at it if it strikes again. Again, perfectly, we'll just trade it down when we come back to this currency pair again. In the meantime, let's look for others. This is a strong downward trend, and let's take a look. The higher time frame, is it so? Well, yes. Here we still have, for the most part, the lows have been updated, turned around and still down. Look how it rolled back. That is, the adjustment is directly strongly downward, and we are still quite far from the minimum of the previous one. Therefore, it will be possible to put on a downgrade. The deal is open, and let's look. At a fairly clean plus, and we have fixed the schedule at a minimum. Now we are trading a hole here again, so here's an ode to ourselves. Now it is broken, and we trade everything on a decrease. Once again on the downgrade. Great, and let's watch. So another great plus is a quick look at the clock. Here, in my opinion, you can continue to trade here. We're not looking at this line here. It has been superimposed on us since a minute ago, and we have already got close to the next minimum. That is, you can move it here and understand. That is, if we are coming here now, well, by the way, you can still trade here. It hasn't reached the minimum. Accordingly, we go in for a minute, and we don't need that here yet. And once again, we put on a downgrade, the deal is open. And let's watch. Okay, this is a plus, but on the verge you can see how our volatility has fallen. There are no volumes, but here it will continue to move down. We just delivered at the wrong time. In any case, plus lucky. Well, lucky or not, decide for yourself. I think it was lucky for the most part. So we continue the acceleration. We will have two 600s on the balance of 1269. Today is a new day for me. It's a simple moment for you and let's look for something. Here you can see how the minimums have been updated. So naturally the trend is now holding down, but here nothing tells us about it except for the MACD itself, where they show us that I'm moving down. You need to put on a downgrade. We will not bet against the trend, and accordingly I opened 2 downside deals, and let's watch. Okay, a great plus here, and the balance is already very pleasant here. 2 transactions of 1000 will now be opened, and we have a fireproof sum of 200 remaining. What do we have here? What a mess. Let's figure it out. Here, the upward trend has been replaced by a downward trend, then down again to an increase. The increase has updated the minimum and has changed to a trend. The decrease has not yet updated the maximum, and accordingly the trend is still downward. But I suspect that we have for a minute, if we go in, there will be such a sideways walk. That is, here it is. If you bring it so close, it is not strong, then it shows some movements. For example, here you can see the movement from the bottom up. See, since here it is from the bottom up, here we have smoothly a little bit all the levels side by side. Therefore, we will not trade on this currency pair, we will find something else. So, an interesting situation. We're trading on a decline because volumes have fallen. We see that after all, the MACD is developing a downward trend. Here, guys, we have a fireproof amount of money, so now we can continue trading at any time. That is, we have one attempt to lose everything in order to continue with $400. It wouldn't be that hard. In the meantime, the deal is open and let's watch. Okay, so great. The 2 deals are just great and we are in plus, so we can continue further. It is interesting here that the volumes have fallen, but where is the trend here? The trend is here. Well, it's not going anywhere yet, so that is the minimums were reset here. Zigzag shows us that the minimums have not been updated normally. Accordingly, we will not trade here, although it was possible to trade on an increase here, but you can also see the MACD, which is what everything is sad and quite dangerous here. That is, you use indicators wisely. Do not mindlessly just put them there in any case, guys. So we are here, and in my opinion, last time we noticed something, some levels, a lot of these levels here, and I remembered we have a schedule. So let's see. Let's say we are going, and here we traded and watched yesterday. So here, as I said yesterday, if it breaks, I trade it down, and if there are bounces, I will go up. In the end, it turned around. And so it went up. It will never see this level again. I suspect that the upward trend here was a downward trend, which was replaced by an upward trend. I am more than sure here that here we will need to open 7 seconds before the candle closes to increase the transactions. Now we'll see. We'll just wait. All we have is $29 left on the balance sheet. We trade almost everything we delivered. In fact, all 4 transactions for $1,000. I see. It remains to wait for the closure, and let's look like this. I'll open it so that it's more convenient. We look. And this is a great plus. We have 7,500 on the balance sheet, and our goal was to reach some 8,000. It's all happening so fast. Fine, so I won't trade anymore here. I'm afraid some adjustments will get caught on them very easily. Can we bounce back from the maximum here anyway down, right? The downward trend here is not the maximum, and it will be possible to deliver from it, but we will not wait for the closing of this candle. Then we need to trade here. Let's do this, and you can see how the MACD where volumes are falling. So, and this is a good sign. This means that something is going to happen to this candle now, and we will be able to trade. By the way, it was necessary to trade all the same on the falling volume. I will immediately trade it down here, so the deal is open, and let's watch. even slightly exceeded 8,221. Such overclocking was connected in a zigzag at the end already. Well, not at the end, at the very beginning we included, so I've already forgotten the MACD. It's great not to forget that MACD is not suitable for scalping. That is, for the most part, of course. I looked at the MACD centers, but it was impossible to put them fearlessly here. I was just looking at the volume, that is, so as not to get caught on adjustments and so on. Here is the video, and I hope that you like this video a lot, and thanks for watching.